It feels like one is peering into a macabre dollhouse of broken lives. Bits of concrete tumble down as people try to clean up or salvage what they can amid the horrors that they can't escape.
5 of his relatives were killed in that building. There were 3 children among them.
Images like this are familiar a year ago from the siege of Aleppo. But this is Idlib city. This is where families were supposed to be safe. This was meant to be a refuge, one of the last remaining ones, part of a so-called de-escalation zone that lately has become anything but. The 4 strikes that hit here happened 5 days before we arrived. And many of those we met had actually fled from Aleppo.
So lucky they were in that back room.
Yeah.
Mohammed Qadha is haunted by all he has lost. His wife was killed in Aleppo 6 years ago. He's raising his 2 sons on his own. We ask where the boys are now, and his eyes fill with tears. We fled from Aleppo to get here, he tells us, whispering, choking on his words. There is no solution. There is just no solution. The boys were both studying for exams when the bombs shook the building, sucked the air out of the room, and everything went pitch black. They were screaming, "Daddy, Daddy," Mohammed remembers. He couldn't find them right away.
When the kids were younger, back during happier times.
What childhood, he laments. What childhood? Children have lost everything in life. We head south, where some towns already feel deserted. In Ma'arat and Nu'man, closer to the front lines of the fighting, children rummage through the aftermath of bombs to look for plastic to sell. We do get scared. We hide from the bombs, they say. The Syrian regime and its foreign backers' latest push seems aimed at eliminating, or at the very least suffocating, the last major rebel stronghold. Hundreds of thousands of people have been on the move the last few weeks, many fleeing ahead of what they know is coming, or as soon as the first strikes hit. Some live in makeshift camps along the road to Turkey, bringing everything they can, including their livestock. By now, everyone is resigned to knowing that no one is going to save them. No one is going to stop the violence. Ghada and her family were initially in ISIS territory over a year ago. As they were fleeing, there was an explosion. Her daughter, Sarsabil, almost lost her leg. I don't like to remember, the 7-year-old tells us. They thought they would be safe, but then the regime and the Russians started bombing. And 4 days ago, they arrived here. Turkish aid organizations are building new and expanding old camps in Syria right up against their border. Abdel Karim Mohammed's youngest was born in the camp the day they arrived. He's saying freedom, Abdel Karim bitterly jokes. If a barrel bomb had hit us when we were sleeping, it would have been more merciful. Syria's remaining rebel areas risk turning into the next Aleppo. Only this time, even fewer people are watching. Even fewer seem to care. For many we spoke to here, it's not about if this area will also get bombed, it's about when. And how many souls can get crushed into this shrinking safe space. And what happens when it's gone.